Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, and former mortician's assistant. Beware, beware. That might not be a phone jingling in your pocket. Join the Nevermorians for morning mischief and madness at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central. Your sense of humor is the only thing you need to wear.
Hi there, everyone. Hi, how the heck are you? Good morning. This is Brian K. Morris, Nevermind the Furthermore. I want to welcome you to the July 15th, 2020. Oh my God. Had a moment where, am I in June still? Is time moving forward, or is it just kind of like flip-flopping back on itself? Good God in heaven. Anyway, hope your Wednesday is going well. Mine certainly is, and we want to give a shout out to everyone watching on YouTube. Glad to have you here, as well as everyone watching on the reruns, because it will happen. It does happen. This is evergreen, I tell you. And very big thanks to geekinsider.com for allowing me to be a part of this, and the Comic Book Advocates and Terraform Comics. So y'all have some people to thank for this thing. Anyway, let's get to your comments and greet some people coming in, like Christian Basil, Adrian Johnson, Andy Imlay, Brian Rhodes, Donna, Carlene, Peter Gould, Ted Davies, Carl Witzman, Eric Hawkins, Nick Talker, all of you, mwah, and you can figure out who gets what. Anyway, let's start with your comments, okay? And good morning, Brian and friends. Adrian, always a pleasure, sir. Glad you're here, and your Morris Monster is here. And arise, my Morris Monster, and feast on the creativity. Well, you also, if you want to see some creativity, check out Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. That is a great show. I had the privilege to be on an episode or two this last weekend at the Indie event, and hope that y'all enjoyed it, because I sure enjoyed the conversation myself. And there's my favorite stand-up guy, Andy Imlay, and good morning. Hope all is well in the madhouse. The mad hell house is functioning properly. I'm not, but it is. So go Pepe. Tim Hortons. Because Cookie and I decided we'd been good people, and we deserve it. Anyway, Donna, Carlene, good morning. Hello, all. Mwah. Glad to see you, Donna. And folks, we got to point you to last night's Clever Tile Pending, a fantastic show with Donna and the one and only Carl Witzman. We had a fantastic time last night. Got a lot of stuff done, a lot of hilarity, a lot of laughs. So please check it out from last night. And Ted Davies, hello all. Ted, glad to see you here. TedDaviesArtistry.com. Check it out and buy stuff from him. Nick Talker, good morning, Nevermorians. What a busy weekend. Last weekend or upcoming, Nick? Let's hear about it, seriously. And there she is, the one, the only, the delightful Sarah. Mwah! Hope you are having a great morning, darling. Good to see you as always. Thank you for showing up and being around. You make us glad. And Carl Witzman, good morning, coming in from Geek Insider today. So you are the Geek Insider today, huh? Anyway, glad to see you, Carl. Again, please check out last night's Clever Tile Pending. A lot of fun with Carl and Donna. Had a fantastic time, and you darn betcha that we're going to be doing that again. And I'm here too with 83 other subscribers, says Carl. Oh, cool. I love that. And folks, don't forget, please hop over to my my page on YouTube, and even if you don't watch that stuff, please go over and subscribe, because algorithms. And I'm hoping to get up to 100 subscribers so I can get my own unique URL. That'll make it easier to find and easier to discover. Anyway, we have recent editions of Clever Tile Pending and Nevermind the Furthermore, plus a playlist of music, that two of them actually that are highly disturbing. I put one on there yesterday. It's like, oh man, this is going to get me in trouble. And I thought, oh, what the hell? Anyway, which is what I usually do. So anyway, please check out the thing, and please subscribe to that. That will help me a lot, so I can do more stuff. All right, and let's get back to the comments here. Let me get to the right place here where I'm supposed to be, and that would be there. There we go. I need a director on this so badly. One who reads my mind, one who is unafraid to traverse the canyons of my intellect. more like mud puddles. But anyway, here we go. Let's talk to Eric Hawkins, the one, the only. Good morning to you, Eric. Hope you're having a fantastic morning. And time seems to have no meaning sometimes, says Sarah. Sarah, I'm losing track of days and weeks. Derp. You and me both, sister. I'm telling you, I honestly would not know what day it is if I didn't look like in the lower right hand corner of the screen. And some instinct drives me here to acknowledge that I have a broadcast going on. So, so anyway, David Atkins is here. David, glad to see you. And he says, I would like to say hello to everyone and know that I am busy making progress on my art. Good for you. Wish I could stay, but capable. What two characters should have a crossover that happened? Ooh, that's good. Herbie the Fat Fury and Mazing Man is my guess. So who's got a crossover that should happen but has not? And Cindy Cap is here. Did I not see Cindy? Sarah, it acknowledges her. Cindy, I'm glad you're here. If you are here, mwah, hope your morning's going well. Eric Hawkins says, hey, check out Vestry on Indiegogo. $11 gets you a book, and that includes shipping. Oh, that's cool. And they are done with the book and already working on issue 2. Oh, man, that's cool. I will have to check that out later on. And good morning, Brian Rhodes. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you as always. Robert Beatty, a pleasure to have you here as always. And I'm on the Nevermind the Furthermore page. Good. Oh, cool. Very cool. Thank you, Sarah. I'm always glad when you're here anyway. It makes me happy. Or Rising Tide page. Right now it is the Nevermind the Furthermore page we have taken over. Taking over my own page. What the hell? Anyway, Eric Hawkins, check out let's see, is that okay, Entity too. Okay, Entity. 100 pages for $20. That is not bad for a Kickstarter. And yes, I am shilling good projects from creators that fulfill on time. Yes, Eric, I fully agree with that. There are a number of people on any sort of a crowdfunding platform who make promises and then like, oh, I'll get around to it. Oh, yeah, well, I had to trim my fingernails, so I can't put out my book for another 2 months, or they just simply ghost on you. Like I've had one that did that on me, and it was something I was really wanting. It was a role playing game, and or not role playing game, but it was like a zombie game. And I'm not huge on zombies, but it only took like about 5 minutes to play. It was a good pickup game, and it never happened. It never came out. So as they say on Broadway, have fun in hell. Anyway, let's see. Carl Wisman says the only crossover I'm thinking about is Uncle Carl and author Michaela Jade. I just bet you are. And Cindy is in Rising Tide too. Good, good. Cindy, mwah, and Sarah. So glad you're both on here. I really am. Christian Basil says, if Sarah, and I flirt hard enough, I forget what zip code I'm in. Yeah, I understand that. She has that devastating effect on your zip code, recall. And bummer, Silcon was canceled, says Robert Beatty. Yeah, that was the big news late yesterday afternoon. For those of you who don't know, September 11th and 12th, I was supposed to appear with Carl Witzman, Donna Carlene, and a whole bunch of really wonderful people. One of my major con families at Silcon in Mattoon, Illinois, at the Cross County Mall. For those of you who don't know, the event was canceled not by Becky Costello. It was not canceled by her. She was ready to go full out, but as it was, the mall has canceled all events for the foreseeable future because there's some sort of limit that the mall has, and I don't know if it's the state that placed it on them or the mall management came up with it. But it's like they can only have, a ridiculous number of people. I can have more people in my house than they can, and we could probably fit it too. But anyway, no, it was disappointing. Not 100% unexpected, given current events. Please read a newspaper. But I am understandably disappointed, though. I mean, I'm not gutted by it. I know Becky is the promoter because she puts a lot of energy into that show and a lot of finances, and I think that's what some of us forget if we just look outside ourselves for a moment. I mean, I see so many people that's like, well, you canceled this show. How could you do this to me? Or, so and so con isn't happening. You've ruined my life, and it's like these are mostly the people who view that on the level of crises that their show starting 20 seconds late on TV is basically the same panic level as an asteroid is about 2 minutes away from Earth, that sort of thing. But it's not you. It is not you. These promoters, if they had their way, would definitely be running the shows because, if nothing else, they have invested a great deal of money into renting the facility. And some facilities I hear, are saying, okay, that's nice. You've rented it for this year. Now let's talk next year. No, you don't get your money back. Or there might be, I know there are also some contracts where the venue doesn't have to repay if the promoter cancels, but if the venue cancels, then the promoter is entitled to either a rollover or to get their money back in full. Plus, there are guests. A lot of conventions, have guests that are what they call pay to play. That if they show up, they get paid. If they don't show up, they get paid. And again, it's one of those things where if the celebrity says I can't make it, that's one thing. But then if the promoter says, "Well, I'm not putting on the show," the star will say, "Well, I just booked this weekend because of you. You're still paying me." So that's how it works. We want to give a little glimpse into what's going on behind the scenes. So our hearts go out to Becky Castillo and the amazing, amazing staff of SilCon. It's not just Becky. There are a whole bunch of people that work behind the scenes every bit as hard as Becky does, and to ensure that it's a good, safe show. So I can't get upset by this, because it is for safety's sake. But by the same token, the SilCon will happen in September. I think it's 10 and 11th or 11th, 12th. I don't think it's the same 2 days, but anyway, or 12th, 13th. But it's in that area. It's the second weekend of September 2021. And hopefully by then we've got a vaccine or something. But there is a possibility of them having a virtual con, which if you haven't checked out virtual cons, please do. And with any luck, we'll be able to keep it free. So anyway, David Atkins, I still wish that there would be a crossover with Sherlock Holmes, Poirot, and Charlie Chan. They all have great distinct nuances. Another would be Swift and Sawyer. Oh yeah, yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. And I thought long ago it'd be kind of fun to write like a crossover between like Mark Twain and Charles Dickens sort of thing, or like Mark Twain and H.G. Wells. I think that would be fun. David, get busy right now. Andy Emily says, a few weeks ago I went to Dayton, Ohio and performed at Wiley's Comedy Club in a comedy competition and placed second out of 50 comedians. Andy, that is amazing. Congratulations. Please congratulate Andy Emily. That is an amazing accomplishment, Andy. I'm proud of you, man. But I know you rock the house, man, because that's what you do. Indie creators fulfill, says Eric Hawkins. Pros using crowdfunding don't. Hint, Red Rooster by Mitch Breitweiser, issue 2 now in Walmart, and the backers of the Indiegogo still don't have their books. So back us little, guys. We deliver. Oh, yeah. Seriously. Check out the record of people that run do crowdfunding campaigns. In fact, I can tell you at Terraform Comics, that's one of the things we look at. We get people, we've had some submissions by people, which, by the way, the submission window is temporarily closed. So keep working on those submissions and improve them, make them more cool. Show them to your friends and get some feedback, because when we open that window up again, we will be looking for real top echelon talent. Yeah, and that kind of annoys me too. That's one of the reasons I'm not supporting the books at Walmart. I would otherwise, but he's not fulfilling on that Indiegogo campaign, and he's come up with some excuses about, well, this isn't the same book. And my thought is, I don't care. You still made a promise to your fans. You still have not fulfilled your promise. And I have to say, at my local Walmart, those books aren't moving. They are not moving. They look good. What the thing is this gentleman has purchased space in wall about, what's it, three? I want to say 3,000, but I think it may be too many. But anyway, he's bought rack space in the Walmart for a line of 4 comics, which look great. They really do look great, no doubt about that. And a couple of them, if I weren't aware of him not fulfilling his promise, I would probably pick him up. But as it is, as an independent creator, and the thing is, Mitch is a pro. Like you said, he has done work for major companies as a colorist. And to basically make his nut on the backs of his crowdfunders, I think is obnoxious and odious. So I know that this will put me at odds with some of the creative community, but I do not support people who do not support their crowdfunding, because they made a promise to their fans and they're breaking it. So finish one and then start the other. And speaking of people who finish things, there is Teresa Dunn. She is awesome about that. Good morning, Brian and fellow Furthermorians. Wow, Teresa, how are you this morning? Hope you are doing well. Well, I will say I am aware that Teresa bumped her toe last night pretty badly, and it is bothering her mightily. So please send her some positive energy and some love. Eric Hawkins says, if you were a digital backer of the Zombiful World of Oz, check your email and project updates. Digital is out for download, and the physical should be in late this week, early next week. That's true. That's true. And I will also amplify on that Eric has all of his swag in place. He has like all of his bonus stuff from the stretch campaigns and all. It's in place. He's got his mailing supplies ready. I think he's even got his labels printed. And he is ready to rock and to roll simultaneously on his promise for the Zombiful World of Oz #2. So congratulations, Eric. That is so cool. That is amazing that you did that. So and let's see here. Did I miss anyone? Alice Peterson, glad to see you. And Rochelle Esser as well. Hope your mornings are going well. And let's see, is there anyone else I have not said hello to? Rob Anderson, always a pleasure, sir. And Russell Allen, extreme pleasure to see you. And let's see, and I think that's everyone that's going to do comments. But anyway, Robert Bay says, I could tell Becky was devastated. I felt bad for her. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough video to watch, and not just because she's my friend, and a good friend at that. And I know she's not the only one, probably at the time they made that decision, knowing the people working with her, I imagine there were tears all around. And again, that's the side we don't see, that someone, especially the medium to smaller shows, that is one of the reasons I don't do a lot of like huge shows, because these feel like family. I mean, that's my whole thing. It's more than just a sales opportunity to me. Seriously, we feel for SilCon, but we know they'll be back next year. They will be more awesome than they were going to be this year. They're going to be fantastic. We got a lot of stuff from Rob Anderson. I can't wait to get to that. That's going to be fun. I may put this show on like text to speech and just let Rob take it from here. Anyway, Eric Hawkins says everything is getting canceled again. SilCon, Heroes for Kids, St. Louis Comic Con. We still got Big River Comic Con in Hannibal Mo. Yeah, and I've also got let me check my calendar. I have the calendar here. It's getting easier to flip through, let me tell you that. I have a show next month, but it's a virtual show. It's going to be a really good show. It is the MAPLD Fan Fest. That's out of Matson. That's the Matson, Illinois Public Library. And I'm down for 2 days. That's I think at least the 14th and 15th. It might also be one more day, but I'd have to check on it. So anyway, we've got that. Then I've got a possible virtual convention in late September for the Imaginarium out of Louisville, Kentucky. Then, like Eric said, from the 2nd through the 4th, we've got Big River Comic Con in Hannibal, Missouri. That will be good. Then the week after, I'm in Benton, Illinois for the SI Comic Con. And then on the 17th of October, I will be at Kokomo Con. And then sometime in late October, I'll be returning to Castle Perilous in Carbondale, Illinois for the Halloween Comic Fest celebration. So we'll see what's going on there. It is going to be a challenge to see if I get any shows. And plus, Indie Author Book Expo, not Indie Author, excuse me, Imagine Other Worlds with Authors in November, we'll be doing a virtual convention. So it looks for the time being, except for October, plan on virtual cons. And no, it's not the same. You can't hug, but guess what? You're not supposed to hug at these right now either, but elbow bombs abound. And I like virtual cons. I'm getting to like them. I went through a spate where I did a couple that were not very well organized, and I was like, ugh. But like after last week, I have to say, and I'm not saying this simply because Meredith Loughran and Rob Anderson and Christian Basil worked so hard to put this on, and Matthew and a couple other really terrific people. They showed me what a good con looks like, and I crave that now. I like the virtual cons, and one nice thing is the way it's been working, I'm in charge of my own programming, so I don't have to worry about somebody treating me right in the venue because this becomes the venue right here in my little office. So yeah, and if we already did have Cape Con that went off. I haven't talked to people about how they did on the floor there. And also, and I did see that Indie Author Book Expo in West Des Moines, Iowa went off, and sounds like it was a successful show. So, but everybody had masks, everybody had sanitizer, and I know people are sick of hearing it, but welcome to the new normal. We may be seeing a little bit more of that over the next couple of years. And yeah, that's the thing. And I would welcome your opinion. Here's a question for you all. Those of you who have done or been to virtual cons, one, do you like them on their own merit? Do they replace for real con? No. And do you think they could be around for a while? I do. I think they will be. I think we'll be seeing a lot more of that for the next couple of years, because if nothing else, it also decreases the overhead. So there's that. You could, in fact, I'm talking to a couple people I'm consulting with them about virtual cons, and basically it's like cost. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned for more details. And Teresa Dunn says virtual cons are the bomb. And for somebody like Teresa, who has a challenge getting out of the house, or if you have like transportation that's not reliable, or a physical condition that prevents you from leaving the house, or if you're just scared crapless about going out amongst the great unwashed, literally, and I do mean hands. Virtual cons are the bomb. Teresa, I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm tickled to see you show up at the last one. And virtual cons are awesome, says Donna Carlene, who was an incredible presence, she and Carl Witzman, at the indie event last weekend. And I tell you, that's the sort of show that if, that doesn't change your mind about virtual cons, I don't think anything will. And by the way, she isn't here, but spread the word. Butt beard. All right. So if Meredith says anything, you can tell her I was good and I complied. Let's see. Robert Beatty says Days of the Dead is still happening in Indianapolis this weekend, which is crazy. But most of the celebrities who were scheduled, like Richard Dreyfuss, after he canceled, I was glad that I didn't drop money on a ticket. Yeah, because I'm not saying that Days of the Dead would be among them, but there's been a number of shows that have basically said, we didn't cancel, but you still paid your money. Gosh, sucks to be you. That they've been very stingy about returning money. Plus, several hotel companies have been very bad about, or booking companies, I should say, have been really bad about returning money, and in some cases, absolutely refusing to after you make the reservation. That's why I'm recommending right now Airbnb. I had a reservation with Airbnb for Cape Girardeau for Cape Con, and and I'm but when Cape Con was temporarily suspended before they rescheduled, I canceled my stay, and there was no penalty whatsoever. They had not collected on my credit card yet. I think they just put a hold for the amount. And basically, I put in the request, and like within 10 minutes, Airbnb sent a thing saying we have released the hold on your credit card, and we have sent a note to the people you would have stayed with. And I wrote him a personal note anyway, and we had some correspondence that was, sorry, we aren't going to meet, but there will be other times. And that's one of the beautiful things, that's one of the things I do like about Airbnb. It's really cheap, and plus you meet such cool people. Really, really do. And I'm getting notices that some of you are sharing this video. Thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated. And please don't forget to put in a link here for yourself so when you share your video, hopefully if I've got any cachet with any people, mostly because they probably don't know what I'm like and might think I'm somebody, um, we can give you a shout out and maybe we can give you a bump or two and some sales if you're after that. Christian Basil says Doctor Who and Sherlock Holmes. Thanks to Nick Briggs. Big Finish did answer that question in one episode, The All Consuming Fire. That's right. That's right. And it seems, I would think that, Sherlock Holmes and the Doctor would be a perfect match in any of the Doctor's incarnations. I mean, that is a great idea. David Atkins, imagine Isabel Archer from Portrait of a Lady and Mrs. Haversham were to meet in Puerto Rico and end up arguing over who to fall in love with. Well, and that makes me think. Imagine Victor Frankenstein meeting a very young Dr. Van Helsing. That sort of thing. That could be fun. Here we go. Now he's got the idea here. This Andy Emley fellow. He says, "Please follow me on Facebook at Palsy Positive." Um, and also follow him at palsypositive.com. I assume your website is still up, Andy Emily. But anyway, check him out at Palsy Positive on Facebook because Andy is a funny, funny guy. He is hilarious, and you'll fall in love with his comedy. You really will. And I'm right, 3,000 WalMarts. Okay, I wasn't sure. 3,000 sounded a little ambitious, but yeah, you know good for him for getting something in there. Poop on him for not fulfilling his pledges. So anyway, Eric, thank you very much for the confirmation there. It makes me happy. It means a couple of the brain cells are still working. Rob Anderson, good to see you, Rob. Hope you're having a good morning. Mr. Anderson returns to Kickstarter with old work, unfinished work now put together to present to the audience, and new work. And let's see here. Oh, okay, Rob, I just found out on StreamYard there might be a character limit, but it's definitely 90 words. So just to let you know, find out why a city needs a hero and costs of doing the right thing can sometimes be very high. New York Reporter, when a city needs a hero to be a symbol of hope, sometimes it's a job too big for just one man. Dark Justice, she may glow blue, but don't assume her gothic heart is there to save you. She's just here to balance the scales of justice. Gothic blue, the world is often an unfair place, especially when you get hurt on the job. But what if those who decide the compensation had to feel, and it cut off there, Rob. Could you put the rest of the message on, please, if you haven't already? Rick Bradley says, good morning, Nevermorians. Good morning to you, Rick. Rick, I'm sorry about last night, but the way Clever Title Pending works best is if unfortunately, that show will put your message up on the screen, but for the audio audience, such as iHeartRadio, which is now very graciously accepting the show by a Geek Insider, to save time, we're not putting in all the promotion there, unfortunately, but we did put it on screen to help you out. But anyway, good morning to you. And Teresa Dunn says her toe is much better. Good, glad to hear it. There we go. And thank you. Find out why a city needs a hero and the cost of doing right thing can sometimes be very high, says New York Reporter. All right, and that's a great line just there. I think. Now, if we just had a okay, here we go. He's breaking it up. He knows what's going on. Rob Anderson, you are a genius. And good morning, Russell Allen. Good to see you, my friend. And when a city needs a hero to be a symbol of hope, sometimes it's a job too big for just one man. Dark Justice, who's apparently not a man. She may glow blue, but don't assume her gothic heart is here to save you. She's just here to balance the scales of justice. Gothic blue! We need an echo on that. The world is often an unfair place, especially when you get hurt on the job. But what if those who decide the compensation had to feel the pain of the injured? Would that change the practice from unfair to fair? Pain box. And is it just online? It isn't real, right? But what happens? Fake online stuff affects the lives of those in real life, and bullying causes a person to take their own life. Trollgate. Rob, can we get a place where this can all be picked up, where this can be purchased? That'll help. The adult tales you grew up to read, Barbara Unleashed, returns to Kickstarter, and the entire collection is available as a reward for yours to you to claim today. Barbara Unleashed! We need, Barbara Unleashed. Okay, and the Poo Poo Platter of Indie Comics returns to Kickstarter to build awareness and shows fantastic new rounds of creative that you can get a preview of in the pages of The Advocator Presents. And in Tales of Conflict and Bullying addressed by farts. And what better way to address things than by farts? Except forest fires. Farting at a forest fire can have devastating effects, not just for the forest, but for the farter. Anyway, the farts teaches morals, which invites new readers and rewards all comic fans with laughter. Cat Dad returns as a reward for you to claim. Cat Dad and Supermom and Ella Fart Never Forgets. Limited award cover, custom package available upon request. He said package. And there we go. That's what we need, Rob. The WrittenSinsComics.com. Check out WrittenSinsComics.com. Sounds like they got a bunch of stuff going on, so check it out, please. And Christian Basil, I came here to see the perverts and the innuendo posts. Well, you just hold on tight. It could happen any moment now, especially since I'm in charge. And here we go. They fed me a whole bunch of links here. Dang it. And let's see here. Man, we shot by this. Holy cats. There we go. Thank you for your patience. You see what happens sometimes I've got a choice. I've got two choices here when I look at your comments here in StreamYard.com, that I see the Facebook ones. I don't see all the Facebook ones, and I then will see the Facebook ones first, and then I may get a flurry of ones from YouTube. So we have moments. Anyway, Amazon has lost my shipping labels that were supposed to show up yesterday, so a trip to the store is due now. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and when you get those, would you let me know what brand and box number it is? Because like if it's Avery, they all have like a number for the specific type of label. Because I am thinking strongly about stamps.com, or because it will save me a lot of effort, and that 10% extra might be worth it. Christian Basil, the YouTube 100 Challenge. Please help Brian K. Morris and Tim Treadlow's new show, Peter Positivity Program. Challenge is have one, if not both, cross the 100 YouTube subscription count. The race is on. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Right after I get off this show, he said get off. Trailer, okay. Please let Mr. Trailer know he's going to have one more subscriber once this show is over. Okay, I promise you that. And we may have to do something nice for everyone once we do cross that 100 goal. I'd like to cross 110. That'd be cool. But anyway, thank you, Christian. I appreciate that. And hopefully, well, anyway, I'm going to put it up to the Nevermorians. Please, right now, if you have not subscribed to my channel, just do a search for Brian K. Morris. Look for the kind of reddish background. That's me. I haven't had a chance to change it to my official photo yet. Thank you, Chris Pence. But please support Tim Treadler, because he is a great guy and a great supporter of Christian's Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. And now here's Rick Bradley. Let's see here. And I think you got cut off, Rick. Rick, I hate to ball you out in public. We need to shorten these descriptions. Short is best, okay? And not just because it crowds the screen, but because, one, you risk a chance of being cut off, and secondly, attention spans, mostly mine. Marvin has always been a good guy. He loves his mom, always there for his best friend, and tries to always tip his waitress. But even good people have secrets. When his car breaks down just outside Eden Falls, Marvin gains the attention of the judge, an otherworldly being that plans to strip his soul bare. Will Marvin survive the night? Reserve your copy of the introduction to his Eden Falls trilogy today. Go to Amazon at that address and have that ebook ready to open up on July 31st. That's right, this is a pre-order, so it'll be like Christmas morning. When you wake up on the 31st, open up that Kindle and bathe in the warm, soapy goodness that is Rick Bradley. And Rick's like, ooh. Anyway, on a dare, Sam explores an old house that supposedly was the scene of the grisly murder of a family. He found a little blue marble for proof he was there. After getting home and shining the marble under his light, Faces could be seen, faces in horrible pain, but that's just his imagination, right? But find out in Rick Bradley's first published work, The Marble, in the horror anthology The Nightmare Collective, which you can pick up on Amazon in electronic and in paperback form. $10 for the paperback and 99 cents for the ebook, and it's worth it, every bit of it. And Jessica Johnson, mwah, good morning to you. Good to see you. And Rick Bradley, please check out his author page, Rick Bradley at R40, R Bradley 42, and he hopes to see you there. And he cries himself to sleep at night when you don't. Anyway, he posts some funny things there and updates to his upcoming projects, and he has a website at authorrickbradley.com. Check them both out. David Atkins, give a good idea of what would happen if Kurtz from the Heart of the Darkness were to run into Dr. Jekyll. Do you believe that he would use the doctor or make himself hide? That's an interesting idea. That is cool. And Jessica Johnson has a link to the Heroes for Kids out of Perrysville, Missouri. It's a great group of cosplayers who use their superpowers to improve attendance at your convention. And they sell a number of incredible, one-of-a-kind pop culture artifacts that belong in your collection. You've been good. Reward yourself. And so pick that up because the money goes to help the kids in the community. And there is the Heroes for Kids Comic-Con, which sadly will not be happening this weekend. I am missing that. And I'm not missing it because I won't be there because I don't want to be. It's just that there was a spike in COVID cases. But anyway, kudos to Jessica and Lonnie Johnson for making the decision for the fans. And I know it's not tough. I know it's not easy to postpone something like that. And it is only postponed. It will be happening next year. I gotta get the dates again. Sometime put them in my planner. Yes, I'm already booking for 2021. I have been for even before 2019 went out. Christian Basil, they don't replace a brick and mortar con. The hugs, the affection, the communication, the networking, the selfies, the geeking out, the love. It can never replace them, but they are the next best thing. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think it's better to have them than not have them. I do have issues with some that are charging for the con experience, and I have a whole bunch of challenges to the pay version of it. Now I can see if you have a show, and let's say Christian, I could get Tom Baker to show up for an hour to take questions from a moderator, and everyone had a chance to ask questions. I would do that. I would probably hold that convention and help support it. I would probably show up at that convention too. I did see one. I don't remember who is doing it, and I don't remember who the guest star is, but it was somebody from I want to say like The Walking Dead. So, one of the name people, one of the name players, a regular. And I think the idea is that a limited number of people would pay in, and then one at a time they got 120 seconds with the person, and the other person would also tape a personalized greeting for them. Now that is classy as hell. That's the sort of thing I might support if it were reasonably priced. But yeah, the virtual cons don't replace it, man. I owe you so many hugs, Christian. Seriously, I do, man. And probably the ladies on your cast are like, not me, you don't. Anyway, but seriously, they'll do until the real thing comes back, right? Donna Carlene says there's also a better chance of getting your questions answered at a virtual con. I was skeptical at first, but I thoroughly enjoyed both being there as a viewer and being involved. That's true. That is true. And there isn't this, they can't see you because you're sitting in the back. If you are a reasonably fast typist, we'll see you, especially if you got somebody like me that talks like 100 miles an hour. Nick Tockard, I think virtual cons are going to be part of the new niche. We have a transportation crisis coming down the pipe as we phase from gas to electric atop dealing with the plague. That's true. And the thing is, Nick, we talked about FezCon. Maybe we need to think about making it virtual. Who knows? Just a thought. And find some way to make it worth the library's time. But anyway, stop calling them cons. Make there be make there be a clear focus. Make it easy to follow and don't try to make it something it's not. That's why we called indie event an event. Oh, I agree. But some people are using cons, and the same way that so many are calling them Comic-Con. It is a corruption of the language, but just the same, it is, you know, we just have to accept that we can call ours an event. And I agree, it was an event. I don't think it, and I agree also that I don't think they are cons in the strictest sense. But then again, we had, when the car came around and we still rode horses, we had to reconsider what we call transportation. So we can say, that they aren't cons, but they're calling themselves cons. And that's why, it's like Wizard World. You go to any city that has it, and they don't call it Wizard World. If it comes to St. Louis, you know what they call it? They call it Comic-Con. You go to Chicago, they don't call it Wizard World. They call it Comic-Con. It's just whether, and I know this has been an issue. We've discussed this several times about things need to be tightly defined. It doesn't matter. It's just us that are sometimes it's just us that are insisting. And language is one of the beautiful things about language is it does change over time. I mean, 6 months ago, Karen was just was the first name of Matt Murdock's girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. It's every bit as valid as spelling indie with 2 E's. So anyway, Eric Hawkins, please check out Nasser Ribaldi out of Chicago. He is a horror writer and has 4 books on Amazon. Very cool, very cool. And Meredith Longren, glad to see you here. I'm listening in the background and I heard that cheeky word of the day. What? Yeah, it is literally, it is cheeky, and we support it. Viva Buttbeard, hashtag Buttbeard. And look to Rob Anderson for a brand new comic featuring Buttbeard. All right, and David Atkins says there is a major issue with many virtual cons that many do not see. I do not make a dime from them, while I make a lot more with appearances. Also, many have no ability to talk to the guests one-on-one. That is true. Although that one convention I mentioned, Virtual Con I mentioned, does have a way to do it. And yeah, that is one thing that shows may have to work out. And already I thought of a way to make it work, but I'm keeping it to myself. Ha 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 ha. I'm not telling anybody, except maybe Meredith and Rob. But anyway, but the thing is, what we have learned, and Rob, would you agree with me about this? I think we can sign off on this. The reason why a lot of people, and I will say like vendors and guests don't make money off of conventions, they don't promote themselves. They don't push their appearance. They say, hey, folks, glad you're here. And guess what? I have books on Amazon. I have books on Smashwords. Look for www.amazon.com/author/Brian K. Morris. And if I would do that more often, my sales would go up. I have had one show where I did sell something. And I will say it was Geek Insider. It was the Geek Insider Virtual Con. Did I sell anything during Indie Event? No, I wasn't there to sell. I was mostly there to support. Because sometimes you don't just show up to sell. But the thing is, David, people get to know you with these virtual cons, so it may have good long-term repercussions, and networking is still strong. My friends list went up, my Rising Tide page went up, my YouTube numbers went up, and I made a whole bunch of new friends. Plus, I've been invited to half a dozen different new podcasts. And I didn't have to leave the house. I didn't have to buy food. I didn't have to pay for a room. I didn't have to spend gas. I didn't have to spend too much money in the dealer's room because that's a weakness. I didn't even have to wear pants. The con committees have told me, Brian, we've got to talk to you about those trouser things. So anyway, there are pluses and minuses to everything. And it is how do you figure out how to make these things pay for you? And I know in my case, I am more interested in educating and entertaining most of the time than I am in saying, hey, you got to buy my books. You got to buy my books. Hey, everybody, have you bought my books? Hey, please, I demand that you buy my books, which doesn't work. So one, please buy my books. I'm available on Amazon primarily and Smashwords.com. I would welcome your your signing. Also, I will sell you my books from me in person. So please go to Amazon, check off which books you want, and contact me via direct message on Facebook Messenger, and I'll tell you how much they cost. Hint: I ain't charging you postage. So anyway, it's something we've got to figure out for ourselves, David. And Jessica Johnson says Heroes for Kids Con is rescheduled for July 17, 2021. And I'm writing it down right now before I forget once more. Thank you, Jessica, for taking care of me because I am a complete dork. Anyway, thank you. We're continuing to raise funds for the Missouri National Veterans Memorial Wall and St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. You so have me there, and I will be in attendance next year. I'm putting it in my calendar so that I don't miss it. Robert Beatty says, I have a feeling the governor of Illinois, ha ha ha, fooled you, will cancel Halloween here. Nobody cancels Halloween at my house, and I mean nobody. So I'm planning on throwing a Halloween party in my backyard. Figure probably like 20 people, some Halloween movies, and bonfire. So if there's a coronavirus spark, you know that he's infecting children. No, anyway, no, seriously, Robert, I think a private Halloween party is in order. And right now, I hadn't given that a whole lot of thought, Robert, but Halloween could be problematic. But here's the cool thing. So many people are going to have to wear masks. The government got you again. Anyway, they're going to install a 5G tower next year. I just know this. But seriously, that's one of those things. They can no more stop Halloween than the government can stop Christmas. Not even J.B. Pritzker of Illinois could do that. Okay, and it's like Christmas. As long as we celebrate it in our hearts, and already gives me an idea for an event on the 31st. Already got this show's been giving me so many good ideas. Anyway, good morning, says Amy Hale. Come on, get on the screen. There we go. Good morning, Amy Hale. Mwah. Hope your morning's going well. Plan to write you later and interrogate you. Anyway, hope everything's going well. Much love to you and John. And this show brought to you by Airbnb. That's right. I'm looking for that sponsorship, Rob. Not all of us are lucky to plug into IndieVolt. You know what I'm saying? IndieVolt.com for the best in entertainment, both radio and TV and discussion. With that cranky Rob Anderson. Anyway, Ted Davies, get your signed retrieved issues 1 and 2 while supplies last. There's only 6 copies of each available at teddaviesartistry.com. For the Nevermorians, I want you guys and gals to go over there, and I want before the end of this hour for you to pick up those last 6 issues. I've read the first 2 issues, and really, it's a great concept. What if you had to pay the price for the sins you committed in a previous life? Well, Ted Davies answers that question for you, or at least get you to ask the right question. So please check it out. It's a really entertaining book. Eric Hawkins, keep an eye on the Funko shop this week. Dwight is going back up sometime between today and Saturday, and suddenly Amy Hale's ears perk up. And David Atkins is an artist, writer, and speaker. I do not get a chance of doing any panel, cannot personally show off my goods, and therefore have no ability to make sales. So it has been a while since I made a dime. David, that is totally, and I'm going to call you out on that one. Totally and patently untrue. This weekend, we had 40 hours of panels. I would say only maybe 1 or 2 of them were not strictly panels. We had beautiful entertainment by a fantastic group called Phantasmagoria that I've been checking their Facebook page, and I am absolutely in love with these guys and gals. They are incredible entertainers. But you have a chance to sell your goods. I sold stuff during the Geek Insider Geek Out a few months ago. But again, I've been on so many panels just in the last 3 months at virtual cons, and not selling anything is on me. All right, it's on all of us that do this thing. And Rob and Cindy are. You don't know how I choke up when these guys put my links in here. You really don't, because I appreciate that so much. And the thing is, David, I've learned one thing from this coronavirus thing, or the Sharona Miley Cyrus Peter pandemic. And I think everyone who's making money during this is going to say the same thing. We can't do the same thing we've been doing. We have to take plan B. We have to find ways to get out to the public. David, if You could do a show like this. You were doing it for a while. You could, do just short films or something. Or even what's entertaining as hell. And I know you could do this while you're drawing. Have a camera on your art and let people watch you create. Watch the Have them watch you put this brilliance together and talk over it and talk about your books and tell people, I'm on Lulu, come and get them. I'd really like it. Here's what, while I'm drawing here, let me tell you about one of my books. I think it's really cool, and here's why. We can't do things the same way. And you know what? In all honesty, I'm looking at next year being a little rough too. We haven't left the first wave yet. Um, and if anything, we are being told the next wave will be worse. Plus, we're coming up in winter where we may be having another huge spike again because we're inside with and some people, especially those of lower economic, people with economic disadvantages. This is nothing racial. It is nothing cultural. This is economic. A lot of people room together. I mean, when I was younger, I had roommates, and a lot of times they are in places with inadequate ventilation, which means if one of them gets it, everyone's likely to get it too. So we're going to see another spike. It's predicted this winter, especially if we have a really bad winter. And especially if people keep ignoring social distancing, which every scientist that's rational has said there's two things you need to do to stay safe, and that's stay away from people at least 6 feet and wear some sort of facial protection. So, David, it is with love, man. Dr. Tough Love is in the house to tell you, find another way. Contact me, man. We'll knock some ideas around, all right? Because yeah, you're right. I'll give you one thing. You cannot make a living the way you have before now. But that doesn't mean you stop. All right. I want to see you do this. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you put that creativity to your business and make something. All right, Amy Hill, I saw that. It sounded like they are releasing it as they would the SDC, the San Diego Comic-Con pop, so might be easier to get one this time. Yeah. Oh, Amy, I remember when I went to San Diego in 2006, when they announced exclusives of anything, it looked like somebody was handing out a coronavirus vaccine. um, people literally sprinted to get in line for those exclusives. We wound up picking up one for a friend of ours that we just managed to get one of the last ones. But it wasn't like a Funko Pop. It wasn't like a special comic from Marvel or anything. It was, I think it was like a plastic model that somebody had built, like of the Toxic Avengers, a license thing or something. But some, movie character or some horror movie character, B movie character. So yeah, yeah. So this is one thing, and like being told that the Stan Lee Funko Pop might be coming to Target makes my heart beat gladly. Makes me a happy boy. Ah. So anyway, Jessica Johnson has to go back to work. Everyone have a great day. Hugs to you and Cookie. Hugs to you and Lonnie. And seriously, double hugs to you and Lonnie. Um, we will be thinking about you this weekend and wishing we were there, and knowing that when we do get together, we are just probably going to squeeze each other like old sausage. Seriously. And don't get excited, Christian Basil. Anyway, Carl Witzman is saying hello to Meredith and our personal giantess. And Eric Hawkins, yes, ma'am. It'll be one of the San Diego pops now. And Nick Talker says, this situation has forced me to transition from in-person practices to a live show format. Ta-da! There we go. Check them out on Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. It is a wonderful, wonderful series of videos. I don't always get there, but I try to watch on the repeat, which that's another thing. These, while it's great to see people live, and I love it that you guys are live, because otherwise this would be a damn short show to which everyone's going, oh, really? Tell us more, Brian. But in other words, tell us less. Anyway, but I do try to catch the reruns of a lot of stuff. I do follow a lot of you. I'm just stealthy, and you can't see the ladder perched up against your window. But anyway, but Nick Talkard right there. Nick has online sales. Nick has been working diligently on his fencing guild and doing some terrific videos. Man, if you want to learn the ins and outs of combat, mostly with swords going in and out, you definitely got to check out what he does. He is totally amazing. and zip past a lot of comments. See, this is what, and we are way behind. I'm going to try to catch up, okay, folks? So read fast. I came here to see the perverts and the innuendo posts. It does work. Get out your power strips. Rob's got plugs. Oh, and Christian loves a good plugging. And Randy Zimmerman, Trollgate, copyright 2020 Deep State Comics. Okay. Good to see you here, Randy. Randy Zimmerman is part of Indie Volt, who we've been plugging. And it's a great talk show. Plus, Thursday mornings, Randy hosts or usually co-hosts, depending on what time Barry and Grant decides to wake up, a little coffee clutch, just on Thursday mornings. It's always entertaining. So check it out. Randy's crazy talented himself. It's good to see you here, Randy. It is an honor and a pleasure, and I mean that with all my heart. Rob Anderson says all of those stories are part of the Written Sins Volume 1, 100 plus Trade of the Devil Tales, which has WrittenSinsComics.com now directed to it. Excellent. Coolness. I need to. There is. There we go. WrittenSinsComics.com. I'm gonna check it out later, Rob. I realize I've been remiss in getting you to your goal. Rob Liefeld, Snake Eyes, is out today with 30 plus variant covers. Oh, Angel of Death, whereas I embrace. But wait, there is more. Vampirella 11-20 covers, Betty Page 116 covers, and Red Sonja and Vampirella meet Betty and Veronica has 13 frickin' covers all this week. Holy cats! Well, it's funny because I saw a Kickstarter from somebody who I will say is not a name like some of the people associated with those characters, and he had something like 50 variants. And I'm like, that is totally nuts. Frankly, I think I had too many variants on Spencer Spook. You had a good number. I probably would have had mine more as stretch goals now. But that's totally insane. But as and the thing is, a lot of us can complain about it, but the fact is, as long as they keep making money on it, it's gonna keep happening. And Avery 18126, 2 labels per 1 1/2 sheet. Let me where did I put my notebook? Oh, there's my notebook. Avery labels. Because you and Rob had talked me into it, especially the thing about mailing media mail and getting a confirmation number is pretty attractive. 18126. Thank you, Eric. Thank you so much. And you see, David Atkins, don't tell me you don't gain benefits from virtual shows here. We are the Morning Comic-Con, Rob Anderson. Rob Anderson is our special guest because I know he totally supports us being a Comic-Con on the Nevermind the Furthermore con. Anyway. Oh, I know he's going to come in here now, guns blazing. Anyway, need to get back to art and writing. Everyone have a great weekend, or have a great week. I will hopefully get a few more things happening soon. Everyone share a smile and make it viral. Seriously, David, I support that 100%. And David, seriously, let's talk sometime. Let's do it at one-on-one via DM, and let's get some ideas going. And it just takes a little extra work. That's the problem. But it's I've made money, during this time. Thank goodness to people who appreciate my product. So there we go. And he said, "Get off, Frank," says Donna Carlene. You're right. Oh, and I didn't even think hard about that statement. Oh man. Anyway, Russell Allen says, please check it out. Live show Sunday with Chuck Pinot and Katrina. Is that Rhodes or Reeds or whatever? But it's Roets, who is a very skillful editor, I hear, and a charming lady. I saw her on Indie Vote recently. It's on Belial Tales from the Toy Store and editing, and that's on the Facebook page for Russ Explode, and that's RUSS Explode. All right, yeah, check it out. Check out Russell's show. That sounds really good, my friend. Thank you for putting that in there. And he said, "Get off, Frank." How many times did I say "get off"? Good Lord, man, there's my Freudian slip is showing. And thank goodness the voice of reason has joined us. John B. Pica, good morning, Multiverse. Good morning, Citizen Pica. How the heck are you, young man? Hope you're doing well. Rick Radley says, don't worry about last night. I was just crazy excited about Marvin's Night Out and didn't think, oh, dude, can I blame you for that? Hell no. No, I get that excitement. I get it every time, dude. It doesn't get old. You just get better at it, like many things. And I know Donna's going to think about it. So will Sarah. And yes, that is advertising the old fart. But anyway, but no, I understand, and I am so excited to read that. This is Rick Bradley's first book, his very first book, and he's got a pre-sale. And what the thing is, if you order that now, Rick gets a little bump, all right, in the algorithms of Amazon, which helps him get more discovered. Please, please support him. Cindy kept thank you, and Robert Beatty, thank you guys for sharing this video. I so appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who is sharing this video right now. It makes me happy. And whether you're watching on Rising Tide, my profile page, or the Geek Insider pages, or our our YouTube page, we are grateful to have you, and especially to people who watch on the rerun because you help keep this evergreen. If we are promoting our stuff this morning, says John B. Pica, John, it's an ongoing thing. Don't wait for me to ask you. The next two installments of the League of Impossibilists webcomic just dropped at patreon.com/impossibilists. I've read the first episode, and I gotta say, that's a treat, John. You guys are fantastic. And John B. Pica says, what is the League of Impossibilists? They are time-traveling paranormal heroes defending the space-time continuum from the supernatural forces of evil. I'm hoping I got that like Lou Scheimer vocal intonation, like the Filmation cartoons of Saturday mornings long past. And what is the League of Impossibilists? They are time-traveling paranormal heroes defending the space-time continuum from the supernatural forces of evil. There we go. You could record that and possibly use that for your advertising if you think it would help. The issue is the reason they call it a con, says Rob Anderson, is to draw people who expect a con and they get Zoom. Yeah, and it's the same thing, Rob. I see there is one very unscrupulous promoter in the Midwest who works like the Illinois, Iowa, Missouri area. He has basically, Rob, what is called I would call it just a rummage sale. It's basically him and a bunch of other rundown back issue dealers who rent a hotel room and they call it a convention. To me, a convention has guests. To me, a convention has programming. And there's just a whole lot of things that real conventions have that this doesn't. He's only had one guest in probably 30, 40 years that he's been doing this this con job is what it is. It's a con job. But the things like and I agree. Last weekend was an event, but if we called it a convention, I could live with it because I think we gave panels, we had special guests, we had a whole lot of great events going on. Phantasmagoria was worth the whole price of admission, which just happened to be free, by the way. And I do have issues with charging, except in certain cases, like I outlined earlier. But like I said, Rob, it's been 40 years, and I can't get this one crook to stop calling it a con. And he admits he calls it a convention because he said he knows if he didn't call it that, he wouldn't get anyone to show up. And so the problem is we've got a whole lot of people that don't want to be educated. Like I said, you go to St. Louis and they have Wizard World down there. They don't call it Wizard World. They call it Comic-Con. And the same thing happens all over. Indianapolis has like 3 different conventions, and the locals call each one Comic-Con. What are we going to do other than just be better at it? Anyway, Alan Roderick, morning all. Alan, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Carl Witzman, who was brilliant last night with Donna Carlene on Clever Title Pending, says, Brian, bring the book where the Nazi gets a boot to the snoot the next time we see you. I need that. What was that title again? Why, Carl. Rob, you might want to hear this too, because I need all the names I can get here. I need your endorsement and love. The book where the Nazi gets a boot to the snoot, the one in steam-driven armor who battles America's national hero. That's this one, Carl Witzman. It's called The Original Skyman Battles the Master of Steam, available from Rising Tide Publications on Amazon and on Smashwords. Also, this features not only this beautiful Pat Boyette cover. It also features an introduction by Roy Thomas, who was Stan Lee's right-hand guy during the original Marvel Age of Comics, and has written Superman, Conan, the Avengers, Spider-Man. He co-created Morbius. He's done just about everything in comics. Plus, he's the editor of Alter Ego magazine, and a wonderful, wonderful guy. Anyway, it's the original Skyman battles the Master of Steam. The year is 1939. A Nazi Ubermensch kept alive inside his steam-powered armor kidnaps the greatest scientific minds of North America. But when Alan Turner's uncle disappears, the young man takes on the madman as the original Skyman, a dashing daredevil and scientific genius with fists of stone. With the plucky Vaughn Carroll by his side, if the swashbuckling Skyman fails, America falls. So check it out. If you like classic adventure, you will love Skyman. And if you order the original Skyman Battles of Master of Steam directly from me, from the tip jar that you see below, please include your name and address, and we will get that book out within 24 hours with any luck. Usually we're pretty good about it. We usually get out the same day. And it will be $20 for this book, postage paid, and we will sign it for you. We will personalize it, okay? Thank you very much, Carl, for that unsolicited opportunity there. Thank you so much. And Alan Broderick has got all kinds of iconic stuff there. All kinds of emojis. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate it. Rick Riley says, Halloween is always in my heart. No canceling that. That's right. Not even J.B. Prisker can do that. Christian Basil, they can't take Halloween and Christmas away. They can't. I'll be at home spinning my Halloween dreidel and eating my Christmas coins. No one will take them away. Exactly. And most of the indie event was pre-established shows working together. Yeah, I think there were a couple, though, that were like kind of put together. And that's fine. And we did have panels, because not everything I did was Clever Title Pending or Nevermind the Furthermore. Rob, let's just accept it as a success, and it was what it was. How's that? And Nick Tockert says, Amazon.com/Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, and a whole bunch of numbers and letters there, which you got to click on, because if you have Kindle Unlimited, Nick's books are free to read. Learn to sword fight, play big stompy robots, and watch for new projects, which are awesome. And Nick Tockert says also, Brian K. Morris, FezCon could still go as virtual con. We might have to talk about that maybe a month down the road and see where we're at, culturally. Like in Indiana, I think unless they're, like I said, we've had a recent spike in the COVID cases, but right now on a 5-point scale, we are actually at 4.5. Now, it'll probably be this weekend or maybe today. Our governor will probably announce whether we go to step 5 or whether we go back, because there are, like West Lafayette, Indiana, suddenly has mandated that all businesses will enforce will enforce mask wearing. It's going to be hard to do, but and don't go into Dollar General; they will never do it. But no, the city of West Lafayette, the Purdue University, which is still mulling over how to start school, is the businesses there are saying, okay, you come in here, you better wear a mask. And I've been wearing a mask because I care. So yeah, we could do FezCon, and I'll even go without a mask, but I'll be 20 feet away from everybody. And Meredith Lawcron says, remember when we thought there was another half-hour segment during Indie Event and we couldn't find it? We dropped one. Please check out Hannibal Callan's Entertainment on Facebook. I saw that because I signed up for the Phantasmagoria page, and I saw that was on there. I wish we could have presented that, but anyway, the indie event turned out spectacularly, and I gotta check. I actually have to check my availability for late October. I've got some event every weekend, so I have to see what's going on there. But anyway, Meredith is promising another weekend of indie event sometime relatively soon. Mostly because I think her alcoholism has gone way off the charts, and Sunday night was so cathartic for her and me. and everyone else who's drinking. But anyway, no merit, and I've got to give kudos where they are deserved. And I would like everyone who even tuned into 5 minutes of Indie Event last week, give Meredith and Rob and Christian a big thank you, because those three worked so very hard to make sure happened things happened smoothly and on time. And I think, except for that one little thing, I think we had everything pretty much under control, for the most part. Um, but please thank those guys. They put in a crap ton of work, and it showed, and the love showed. And that's the funny thing. Meredith and Rob and Christian, right now, I'm consulting with another convention. Silcon is thinking about doing a virtual con, so I told him I'd help him with it. So we'll see what happens. And Rob Anderson, oh God, Rob, thank you. And see, now one page, now that works, brother. That seriously works. You can find my works on Smashwords. There's my profile, and also, all kinds of things. Me on Smashwords. I'm on there 4 times apparently, and then I'm also on Goodreads. And check out my author page. Please subscribe. Be my friend, because I could use some friends. And Rob Anderson also points to my Amazon page. Please check out my Amazon author page. And authors, if you haven't policed your Amazon author page, please do so. Every now and then I go and I'll do a search for a name, and then I find it doesn't link back to your Amazon, or rather your author page. And Meredith, you see, I've been paying attention to Meredith. She's been talking to us about backlinks, which is why I've got to work on the one for this show. Almost made it this morning, but anyway, please check out my work. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much, Robin. Rob and I fight. It probably seems to the casual observer that Rob and I live to disagree with each other, but we don't. We agree on the important stuff, right? That I'm a genius. Anyway, Carl Wisman says, yes, Meredith, I have that bookmark. The great thing is that Indie Event will live on YouTube and Facebook for a long time. Name a brick and mortar con that will last that long, except for photos. Oh, Carl. Oh, Meredith, Rob, Christian, are you listening to that? That is brilliant, Carl. That is freaking brilliant. There's our angle right there. That's we are archiving that stuff. We are making it permanent. You can relive the fun. You can see stuff you missed. How many times do you go to a show and you say, well, I've got a choice between these two panels. Which one do I do? And you have to pick the one that you hope will be more entertaining than the other. That's why you can watch them all. Seriously, and I'm on all over the place, but don't let that scare you away. Eric Hawkins says, since the Drawn and Quartered Pro Edition was canceled last night because they fear me, I do, that's for sure. He finalized the outline for Zombie World of Oz #3. Good for you, Eric Hawkins. And he rearranged some scenes to make it flow better, even penciled a couple pages. Eric, I'm proud of you, brother. That is excellent news. That makes me happy. Make me happy. And check out. I'm looking forward to the Zombie World of Oz 3. I'm looking forward to getting. And this is, and you can tell I hang around Meredith far too much. I can't wait to get Meredith's package in my hands. And of course, I say that. And who's the next commenter? Hi, Christian. Christian Basil says, I mentioned last night I finished recording my second character who dies. Then the author asked me to make death screams. This is the first time I recorded a screaming death. Who knew I was a screamer? I wouldn't have thought you a screamer, but hearing that doesn't surprise me. I could see you being you screaming during. Carl Witzman has a message here. I went back and watched more Phantasmagoria and tried to order a CD of some of the music used. That gal must be wondering, where did these orders come from? She wasn't even part of the event. That the lady that showed up for the indie event, that nice little blonde lady, she's not only gorgeous, but man, can she move. She's extremely talented, and so is the gentleman with her. I'm really impressed. I'm going to go back and I'm going to be watching the whole thing, and I may wind up sending an order to him too. And let's see, here we go. Oh, we got all kinds of people I got to say hello to. I'm excited. People people come to this show, and I don't know why, but I'm not going to question stuff. But let's see. Man, we are so far behind. I have got to try to catch up, and I do apologize. Audio recording first story, says Christian. I thought that's what you were talking about. Nick Tucker says, David Atkins, it is humble, but check the art time with Nick videos on my art channel, and there's the link. Low end, but over the shoulder art is doable. Very much doable. Eric Hawkins has done several of those, and I find them kind of entertaining, especially when they talk during the thing. Eric Hawkins, today's San Diego Funko Pop exclusive is Johnny Quest with Bandit and Haji on sale at 11 p.m. Okay, that is one I would risk the wrath of Cookie. And Amy Hale has got the thing down here. Follow her on Facebook at author Amy Hale, please. And don't forget Amy Hale's Angels and authoramyhale.com on the interwebs. Carl Wisman, good use of your time, Eric. Those jealous guys can just stew in their fear while you are out there working, getting more fans, making some dough, and leaving them to stew in their own putrid juices. Rob Liefeld says, Rick Radley, did Snake Eyes, is he covered in pouches and you can't see his feet? You can see his feet. They're like these little four-sided things, like a isosceles, or rather a parallelogram, but he has no ankles to speak of. Nick Tockard says, apparently the HHS will now be sending their C-19 number to the White House instead of the CDC from now on. So yeah, this is the same White House that is sending out disinformation packets about one of their own people. Oh man, it's like I'm proud to be a libertarian. I really am, and more so with every day. I think the government's trying to kill us. So conspiracy theorists, we may be talking. I may owe some of you an apology. Anyway, Amy Hale says, hang out with us in my reader group where I give away free books and various fun goodies, have live chats with you all, and fun conversations at Amy Hale's Angels. It is a fun place to be. I can't wait till you start broadcasting again. And good morning. I'm on break now. We're so far behind, Cindy. Have a fun day at work. I'm sure it's over. Anyway, Cindy, so glad to see you. And Alan Roderick's good morning from Russell Allen. Cindy Kep says, missing some good books at fairs, events, and cons. Well, go to Smashwords and pick up my book. Cindy, thank you. Don't forget Cindy Kep is on Amazon, all right? Also at bearpublications.com, where you can pick up her latest book, Animal Eye, and check out her, and there's some more there at Amazon where Cindy Kep is at. That's Koepp. In fact, if you go to ckoepp.com, you can sign up for her free monthly newsletter, which goes out about the third weekend of every month. And it's entertaining. It is one of the most fun newsletters I read. And Pops Van Zandt, brother, it is good to see you. I'm sorry I'm so far behind. I hope you are well this morning. Russell Allen, please join the page and come watch Sunday's live show with Chuck Pinot and Katrina Rhodes at Russ Explode at that address there. Dig it. It will be a great conversation. I'll try to make it, Russell. And I thought David said share a smile. Naked and viral? My bad. Well, I'm sorry because I am concerned because Christian listens to this show outside, and he's had like half a dozen mailmen in the last 2 months. They are not approaching that place anymore. Anyway, Amy Hale says, would love to see you on BookBub as well. And there is her BookBub link. Oh, yeah. That's something I don't use enough. I need to get on my BookBub. And Pops Van Zandt scheduling for CromCon 5 begins today. Oh, very cool. Pops, when that comes around, and I hope you're still listening, when that comes around, please feel free to use the Rising Tide Publications page to promote that, all right? I would love to help. And Donna Carlene says, that or your Jungian Teddy. Yeah, there we go. And don't lie to us, Cindy, says Christian Basil. You're still knitting. You've created a sweater the size of a Mack truck by now. I think she's probably able to like cover Marion County, which is Indianapolis by now. Amy Hill, and here's where you can get her Amazon stuff at that address there. Do a search for Amy Hill. You will not at least be disappointed. You will love it. And her website is authoramyhale.com. Brian K. Morris says, Ted Davies, thank you for all your support of my work with my Retrieve series. Oh, dude, you make it easy by putting out great product and being a great guy. Be cool like Brian. There's a low bar to hurdle. And get your signed copies of Retrieve 1 and 2. And Ted had 6 copies left. Please check him out and reserve those for yourself and make Ted a happy boy. He looks pretty when he smiles. And Cindy Cap says it looks like QuadCon is happening in Altoona this weekend. The site has, excuse me, had a bug up my nose as opposed to my butt. Anyway, looks like QuadCon is happening, says Cindy Cap, in Altoona this weekend. The site has very many restrictions, and the organizer is insisting on more. Should be interesting. Well, I know that Cape Con was strong, had a firm limit on the number of people admitted at any one time, and I've seen some shows where, like, if they reach the limit, they don't let anyone in, and if two people walk out, they'll let two people in, that sort of thing. And they are encouraging people to use masks, and hand sanitizer abounds. So stay safe, sweetheart. Please stay safe. That's the bottom line. Because Cindy is a treasure, and we need to keep her around as long as possible. And Cindy keeps her dragons warm. Keeps her dragon warm. That's not a euphemism, Christian. That's not a euphemism, okay? No, Cindy was on the after show at the indie event, was charming us all, not only with her smile, but her diligence in crocheting this Afghan, I believe it was. And she showed it off Monday on Nevermind the Furthermore, and that thing not only is voluminous, it probably outweighs her by a good 100 pounds. It's monstrous, and it's getting bigger, and she says it's not done. So, and she is looking to keep a fully grown dragon warm. So anyway, she's got some work ahead. She may be done by now, for all I know. So every time I share a link in the comments, says Amy Hale, I'm getting a green check mark that says it's originally marked as spam. What's that about? Amy, I have no idea why Facebook does that. And I can't figure out why, and I'll do this on other shows where I'll put in like a fairly innocent comment, and it said, well, we're not letting this through because it's spam, but I will go back through this broadcast, and I will okay anything you guys put in, all right? As long as it's not dinosaur porn. That's mine. Anyway, okay, now all my comments are marked as spam because Facebook is a piece of some days. And, the thing is right now, they're starting to throttle back on the reach of some of these shows. I've had a couple of shows that I know from, I can tell after all this time from the flow of comments how many people are in my feed watching this show, at least on my page through StreamYard or my pages. And that is another reason why I'm encouraging more people to go to YouTube. Fewer restrictions, fewer whimsy on the part of Facebook. I'm sorry, Facebook is not. It wasn't set up to be a communications thing, except the print of the word. I remember when I first got onto Facebook, and it was just basically you post, you could put up pictures and stuff. But then they got into things like video, which I think they do okay. But they see somebody else succeeding in something, then they try to emulate it, and it just doesn't work. Just stick to what you know, Mr. Zuckerberg, okay? And Cindy, is that code? See, I knew Christian would take it wrong. I just knew it. He never lets me down. And Pops Van saying the reason I call it a con is because that is what they call it. Thank you. I don't really care how you label it. I help people. They make some money, and you just have to hate on it. Well, no. Pops, I'm going to not read the next comment. Okay. And any conflict, I want, I want that off of, I don't want it to happen here. All right. And Pops, I'm going to agree with you. It's what other people call it. And I think, already we're seeing people calling them virtual cons. And it's one of those things I don't think we're going to be able to reverse the trend. I agree with Rob that in the strictest sense, it is not a convention. But as long as you have some people out there, and if that's the only way we can identify what looks like a great event, Pop, seriously, I want to be kept in the loop on this. I want to know that it's happening, and I want to help promote it. All right. So please, please, keep me in the loop so that we can maybe get you an extra set of eyes or something. And Carl Wisman says, Amy Hale, too many links with a certain time period. Facebook does that to stop the comments from exploding. Well, Amy Hale hasn't posted that much on here. Now, I do think that sometimes it can be cumulative. Because now that I think about it, I got stopped last week because I'd been reading pretty fast, and I was like liking the elements of this one discussion I was reading just to tell the participants, okay, I dig what you're saying and I'm glad you're saying it. And I got like this little pop-up screen telling me you're doing this too fast. If you keep doing it, you're going to wind up in Facebook jail. And I already have a strike against me, believe it or not. I was telling Rob Anderson I had posted something on somebody's page and they were absolutely filthy. And so, of course, I had to chime in. And I had posted something and I accidentally hit the enter key before I had finished. And rather than allowing me to edit or remove it, it said, we are removing it from view and we're giving you a strike. And I'm like, what the hell's that about? And then what is it over indie event? I talked to somebody who had a strike. I think it was on here, either here or maybe it was YouTube, a copyright strike for using copyrighted music, and it took the platform like a year to a year to take that off. So that's crazy. Anyway, Rob Anderson says, I agree. Cons should live up to a standard. Totally agree with you. So many things call themselves a con that just aren't one. And Pops, I don't think it's his. Rob is very big into proper terminology, and that's a given. Rob and I fight like sisters. Like, we do. Brothers don't always do this. I've noticed sisters do. It's like, Mom, she's breathing my air. Make her stop. And Rob and I frequently have discussions at the top of our lungs about this. Usually me. So yeah, and the purpose is to help people, and that's all that should matter, Pops. Again, I want to help support you. All right. So anyone else notice how off Facebook is now since its update? Yeah, I've been noticing it for about a week now, Rob, and it doesn't seem to be improving. Rob, do you have any insight as to what I have, and I ask because I have forgotten to do the research, to be honest. I've been distracted with some personal matters, which actually, and Rob and Carl and Donna and Meredith are aware of this, have ended happily. It was nothing life-threatening. It was something that we will make a formal announcement probably next week, but I don't want to do it without permission from Cookie, okay? Because she, unlike myself, is a very private person. Whereas I am, Brian, would you please stop being so candid? Anyway, Rick Bradley says that's normal for Facebook after any update. That's true. And yes, Facebook keeps getting worse instead of better quality, says Carl Wisman. Yeah, I agree. And I think part of that was when they started the rooms, which I like the rooms just fine. Please don't get me wrong. And Carl Witzman does a great job with rooms. He does an alternating Fridays room. Yeah, I'm revealing that secret too, Carl. Some secret. Anyway, he opens up a room for people, and we just sit in there, we chat, very informally, maybe have an adult beverage or two. I sit there and hum hymns and study my Bible while these people are totally ignorant. Anyway, but yeah, I agree. I think Facebook tries to do too much. I understand what they're doing. They're doing the same thing Walmart does in brick and mortar. They want to be one-stop shopping. You want news, go to Facebook. You want music, go to Facebook. You want to talk to people, go to Facebook. You want to set up a private conversation with somebody, go to Facebook. You want to send somebody money, go to Facebook. It's not working. I don't know anyone that uses the Facebook Pay feature on here. And the only time I've used it is when I've hit it by accident, and I'm like, go away. PayPal works just fine for me. Let someone else have their specialty. Maybe you learn how to work with it better. That's one of the reasons I abandoned OBS. I mean, I really, really love what StreamYard can do, and it's so simple to use. For any of you who want to do streaming like I do, but hopefully only better. But the thing is, it was not talking with my OBS very well, and I just finally gave up. Now, Cindy Cap says virtual cons /fair /events /whatevers have been interesting. The advantages: no travel. If there are flashing lights, I can put up a different screen up and still talk to folks. Food's easier, less crowd. That's great. And and this is exactly what I had in mind earlier. Cindy has allergies. I think I'm safe in saying that, Cindy. And for someone like her, a convention can be problematic. I mean, just imagine trying to get something to eat, you know, and if they, for whatever reason, maybe, they serve hot dogs or, junk food or whatever, but, you can't be sure. It's got preservatives, it's got artificial sweeteners, it's got artificial colors, some of which are cancerous. Um, they've got, what if you are observing some sort of a religious thing? What if it's not kosher? It's not kosher. Or you have a gluten problem. See, there's so many factors to go in. Cookie has a number of food allergies. I have to constantly watch over her to make sure she doesn't get something that will make her seriously ill. So that's why I feel for Cindy. And Cindy's like, you stay away from me. Anyway, but somebody like Cindy, a virtual con is perfect for her. And yeah, I'm sure she misses the hugs. I'm sure she misses the face-to-face contact and watching me grimace as I say stupid things and finally realize it after several years. Yeah, I'm still working on like about 2014 processing that stuff. But anyway, yeah, I can see where for some people virtual cons are the bomb. I get it. The more I do this, the more I get it. Okay. Not at first, but I do now, especially since, like I said, we did indie event and we did it right. Christian Basil fail book. Yeah, I like that they never ask us if they want the change. They just do it. Like when my ex-girlfriend moved in. Yeah. It doesn't get any better when you're married. Trust me. Did I say that? Yeah, cookies at work. That's why I'm still alive. Joe McKeel is here. Greetings from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I overslept. Well, Joe, you are worth waiting for, sir. Hope your night went well, and we are always glad to see you. And don't forget, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Also on Saturday nights, I believe. Check out Stupid O'Clock. That is such an entertaining show. I usually catch you guys on the rerun, so because I'm a weary old man. This week, hopefully, I'll be catching up on some of my sleep from last weekend from Indie Event. And we're trying to get work off our table. But Joe, it is always a pleasure and an honor to have you here, my friend. It's so good to see you, and I hope the day is going well. Now, Cindy Kep says the disadvantages to virtual foo, and that's what we start calling it now, Rob. It's virtual foo. So there, it's been decided. Foo. Anyway, body language is harder to read, so communication is harder. Yeah, that's true. And hugs are also virtually. I personally sell less. Yeah, and I do too. I will be honest with you, Cindy, and everyone here, which I tend to do too much. My sales are not what they would be if I were in person. But by the same token, because I'm growing my virtual sales, that helps my virtual sales to grow. So this is kind of a long-term thing, and it takes time. And Cindy, I wish I could make yours, just shoot through the roof because you deserve it. But we'll work on it, okay? And she's like, "Stop helping me, Brian. You're not doing any good." Anyway, Molly Daniels is saying, popping in for a few moments before the evil day job. Well, Molly, please check out Kenzie Michaels and Molly Daniels. They're said to be one and the same, but I've never seen them in the same room together. Anyway, Molly, it is good to see you. Hope you have a great day. Seriously, and check out her books on Amazon. And y'all done good last weekend. Thank you, Cindy, and so did you. So did you. You were a delight. You genuinely were. There's not an ounce of sarcasm in me. I'm saving it for Luke Stone. Good morning, Luke. How are you, my friend? Luke is the author and artist of Hybrids, The Sons of God's coming soon from Terraform Comics, and he is going to be drawing a brand new feature which I am writing called Scarlet Trace, and I am so excited to see what he does with that. And here we go. Let's see, and Pops again. I would like to read that, but I please, and Pops, I appreciate your passion on this, but I really would like this conversation to happen outside of this venue. If I think you should take it up with Rob directly. All right, and because I know Rob would, probably welcome an opportunity to discuss it with you. It just doesn't fit in the format of this show. But Pops, let me explain that I do appreciate your passion, and which is one of the reasons I want to help you get some fresh eyeballs in front of your show when it happens. Okay, so please keep me on. Please keep me in the loop about that. So, okay. And let's see. Molly Daniel says, I enjoyed the panels this weekend. I'm glad, Molly. I really am. And I think next time we need to get you on to some of them and some of the people on here. Maybe give you a spin on there. So mostly so I can get some rest. And Rick Bradley says, good morning, Luke. And we agree. Good morning, Luke. I hope you're doing well, my friend. And Molly Daniels, her site is mollydaniels.wordpress.com, where you've got to go. And Luke Stone says, Voodoo Nations launches tomorrow. Luke, would you please post that on Rising Tide as well? And please, I'll share it onto my personal page and let's spread that around, okay? So check out that link there, all right? It's going to be an awesome book. And there is that link to the #1 issue of Voodoo Nations. I've seen the cover. The cover is gorgeous. And if Luke's drawing the inside, then you know that's going to be great too. And see, Cindy is out of break. I'm sorry. Go check out some snazzy sci-fi, fantasy, and game lit at CKOEPP Amazon. She is an Amazon of creativity. Cindy, mwah, so glad you were here. Hope you have an amazing day. And we want to see some progress on that Afghan later on. Christian Basil says, every time a creator gets a new subscription or a book or comic is sold from here, a spine is licked. Yes, we had massive spine licking on the victory lap, as I like to think of it, from Sunday night, and it was sloppy. It was sexy. I enjoyed it. Rob Anderson says, Carl Witzman, it's why I called what we did at First Con, because we offering connections, and I tell everyone in our shows to often avoid current events when possible so videos can age well. That's true. That's true. And I think we should look at the aging of some of what we offer. That's one of the reasons, as I was explaining the other day. That's why we still watch like I Love Lucy and the Dick Van Dyke Show, and yeah, that stuff is dated. That stuff is absolutely dated. But the thing is, the issues, the situations it deals with, are timeless, and that's why what 50 70 years after Lucille Ball stomping on, Lucille Ball is still funny, drinking Vitamegin or, eating those chocolates or stomping on the grapes or bugging Ricky to let her into the Copacabana. That stuff's still funny. Or, Rob, trying to deal with his writer's room, or, possibly mixing up kids at the hospital, whether he's got the real Richie or not. That stuff's still funny after all this time, because what they deal with is timeless. And that's something we as creators probably need to think about. And changing the landscape of comics, that's Terraform Comics all over. Go to terraformcomics.com. You will be glad you did. And there's some really cool stuff, including Cat Dad and Supermom, Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, and Dinosaur Man is going to make his way from web comics to print. And Luke, if you're listening, please remind me. I've got my hero history for Scarlet Trace and my script for the Hostess Pie ads ready. So, and everybody's like, what? Anyway, so yeah, I've got it done. I forgot to send it to you. Anyway, just in case you missed it, says Meredith Walkren, I think we've got a YouTube troll. Someone is hitting thumbs down on our Indie Events videos. Head over to everyone who participated and give their videos a like and subscribe. Trolls in the mouth, I say. Meredith, yeah, and that's the thing. I take that as, Meredith, and I'm sincere when I say this. You get haters, that's because you're succeeding. That's what happens. I've had haters. Hell, I've had a death threat. Okay. It's like, it's what happens, because, like Varian says, like I've said in the past, it's like crab fishing. You want to read up on crabs when they're in the cage and one of them tries to get out. They will dismember him. They will kill that crab to keep him from escaping. In fact, they will even try to reach out and grab other free crabs to pull them in. That's why crab fishing is so freaking profitable. But anyway, yes, please go to the Indie Event and give those a like. We have started in a playlist we call guest appearances. I've started sharing some of the ones that I had something to do with. So please go over and give those a like too. But the thing is also, a lot of these trolls, the funny thing is, I learned this just recently. When they hit thumbs down, you know what it also does? They can't find us in the search anymore. They're screwing themselves. This is great. Hate away, people. Hate away. And Rob Anderson says, see where the devil's tales began with Written Sins, Volume 1, The Comics Devil, a collection of the Comics Devil's tales. See some OG work. I know what that is. All right. And the projects that fell apart. That's the part I'm really looking for, Rob. That's going to be fun. And Marvy artwork. Marvy, thank you for being here. It's good to see you, man. And in the event was a blast. I have to keep up with the videos I didn't see. And he would like to say thank you for having me on the event. Be safe and keep rocking. Hey, Marvy, we got rock just to keep up with you. You know what I'm saying? Marvy, thank you for being a part of it. And we appreciate it, man. We really do. You don't get told that enough. And interesting, does anyone see my previous post? Facebook and their infinite wisdom has marked my comment as spam. Yeah, Meredith has been doing the same thing. I wonder if it's because we do promote on here. Facebook. Eric Hawkins, ooh, just had an idea. Gonna DM you. Oh, looking forward to it, Eric. I see that grin on your face already. That evil gleam in your eye. By the way, check out the indie event because Eric does an incredible interview on a special episode of Clever Title Pinning with our special emergency guest host, Christian Basil, when we had lightning strike a transformer in my neighborhood. I wish it had come across on the event. I don't remember hearing it, but it was like boom. It sounded like somebody like launched a Moab on my front lawn. It was glorious. It was a nice big boom. Meredith Walgren, is it me? I'm seeing a lot of comments that are originally marked as spam on Facebook. Yeah, Amy Hale was going through that earlier. I will go back and I will, if I can say that they are acceptable, I will do that. And Amy Hale is spamming us all. She is welcome to. And thank you, Pops Van Zandt. Seriously, thank you. I hope you appreciate my stand on this. Seriously, it is not meant with favoritism or malice. It is just to keep the tone light here. And let's see. Oh, here we go. Russell Allen says, he's giving kudos to Pops Van Zandt. Thanks for letting me get a spot in August. I look forward to a panel. Well, very cool. Pops, I may have to talk to you. Who knows? And Pops says, appreciate the shout out, Russell and Brian. Pops, we're proud to do it, brother. We seriously are. Let me know what I can do to help you, okay? I would be happy to. Yeah, I was afraid this would happen. Luke Stone, this is serious, folks. Seriously, just had two people from Luke's congregation. Luke is his real day job is he is a pastor of all things, and he is he is my friend, and I think I am his pet project. But anyway, in all seriousness, I apologize for getting frivolous for a minute. Anyway, Luke Stone just had two people from his congregation diagnosed with COVID-19. They are both older and could use your prayers. So please send Luke and those two people your positive thoughts, your prayers. Please take a moment and think of them. And Luke, please keep us posted. We want nothing but the best for them and for you. And Meredith Walgren says, yes, and please follow the Facebook Terraform Comics page. We're almost to 1,000 friends and fans. And that is so cool. We haven't released anything yet. Imagine how happy you'll be when we finally do. And from Geek Insider, they're my favorite, says even YouTube seems to throttle or hide comments from the third-party live streaming apps if you include a link they don't like. Well, we'll just have to keep pushing and make sure they get through. We will find a way, Geek Insider. And Rick Radley, they're definitely in my thoughts, Luke. Mine too, Luke, seriously. And Nick Tucker says apparently Jurassic Park has a new Brian K. Morris Memorial Bordello. How many scales have you shined? Well, not wanting to brag much, but I was pretty. I knew a good pterodactyl when I saw one back in my single days. Now it's been a little lean lately, as you can imagine, what with being married and all, and them being extinct. But the memory lives on. And Joe McHale says, "I got that already. They killed my stream mid-show." That's right. Yeah, poor Joe. He was on the air, and Facebook said, "That's enough of this." Holy cats. So are you the sister and Rob is the brother? I think we take turns being the. Anyway, Meredith Logren says, I like the idea. In the Northeast, we might call those flea markets. Yeah, seriously, that's what that one creep that I told you about uh, does. Take up the football field at the high school. Everyone gets a 10 by 10 tent and plenty of social distancing. Why not? Seriously, that's the way to do it. Here we go. Rob Anderson, I am guessing it is data collecting software that is butting up against other programs that is designed for privacy. On Facebook, privacy? What is this thing you speak of, Rob? I have no frame of reference. And what is it? Alice Clark, a commissar, I believe it is what we're supposed to be saying now. And double take, read what? Starts coughing, says Donna Carly. And Rob pops in saying, I apologize, Brian. My comments were not directed at you. They were in response to Rob. I see what he says. I respond. I understand, Pops, and I understand the instinct. I really do. And it's just that, I want this to be a safe space for everyone. And that's including you, my friend, and including Rob. That's as far as I can get. And Pops, I appreciate you. And I thank you for understanding. And I appreciate and I love your passion. I really do, man. Seriously, if I have something going, I want you in my corner, man. I really do. Christian Basil says, I think virtual cons get that stigma because people hear the word virtual, like the stigma podcast versus radio, but it's all about the content. And if people are putting out content like Meredith did, just like podcasts, that stigma will drop right away. Just my opinion. Christian, no, I disagree with your last statement. That's just your fact. Seriously, and I'll personalize this. I really will. When I announced that I'm going to go into publishing, that I'm going to be my own publisher back in 2012, I got pushback. I got all kinds of people. It's typical here on Facebook, especially. You don't hear from people. You never hear from people. They don't even you don't even know they read your stuff. For all you know, they're ignoring you. They don't like your posts. They don't comment on anything. They certainly don't buy your product or listen to your podcast or watch your show. But you know what? You say one thing they disagree with, they come roaring in to tell you what a moron you are. And I had that happen a couple months ago. Rob will verify this because he copied. I had posted something that, yes, I think it's horrible that people are dying from the COVID, but most people will survive. And I wanted to point that out because I was feeling real depressed that morning. I saw that and I thought, now this this is just a little glimmer of hope. And I think people could use that. I had probably 30 comments in 10 minutes come down telling me what a jerk I was for saying that I was glorying in the death of people, that I was, hoping the virus would kill people. And I'm thinking, no, just you guys. And I only got one person saying, Brian, I think you're right. And thank you for posting. But everybody, and the thing is, the people that were on my case were people that were like, they never contact me. They don't talk to me. They don't support me. They sure as hell don't buy my books. And I pushed back. I said, you know what? This is the first time I've heard from any of you. This, since we became friends on Facebook. And if I was just trying to offer a little bit of light, and if that offends you, then get the hell out of here. I don't care if you keep me as a friend or not. The fact is, I didn't lose a single one. And but the thing is, I did drop a few of them because unless you're talking hate, which I have banned people from my page about. If you're talking hate, you're out of there. But also, we will agree to disagree all day long, because I know some people do not believe that the COVID is as serious as some people say, like scientists. What do they know? And I know that we don't agree on things political, but as long as we can have a discussion about it and walk away still as friends, that's my goal. That's the bottom line. But if you come on and start hating on me because I disagree with you, then you're not engaging in civil conversation, and I am not the jackass whisperer. So, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Christian, and I think content is king. It's been since I got on the internet. That's been the phrase. Content is king. And that's why what Rob does at 4:00 is so valuable, because he's got content like no tomorrow. Same with Indie Volt. Geek Insider geekinsider.com. Please, for the love of God, check that out. And that's what we're trying to do on my use. I almost said MySpace, my YouTube page. We're trying to put content on there. We're going to add more content that will be exclusive to there, that be will not be originally seen on Facebook. So please subscribe so you can be notified that we're doing it. So anyway, I agree. Content is what will out. And if you're going to put on a virtual con with no real content to speak of, well, then you're just perpetuating the bad stigma. But here he is, the one, the only Varian Grant of Indie Volt. We're glad to see you. I hooked up cont verb persuade someone to, or excuse me, I looked up con. I'm sorry, I didn't read that right, Varian. That was my bad. I'll try again. Varian Grant says, I looked up con with an exclamation point. That's what threw me. Verb, persuade someone to do or believe something, typically by use of a deception. I conned him into giving me your home number. Noun, an instance of deceiving or tricking someone. Well, in some of the virtual cons we've done, Varian, I will agree with you wholeheartedly. Please give yourself a high five for that, and it's for me. In fact, there is a lot of con that goes on behind the convention, and some days it seems like you can't have a convention with some sort of con in there. But thank you, Varian. I appreciate you taking the time. See, you and I do the research, man. That's great. Rob Anderson, I like virtual foo and agree with this new name. Tell the world of the change. That's right. Rob has endorsed virtual foo. So now we are doing the next indie event virtual foo pretty soon. So please keep an eye on it. Oh God, we are screwing up the world here. Anyway, and I love it. Anyway, Nick Tiger says, Sarah, it happens frequently to me as well. Oh dear. Hold on. I just shot past a whole bunch of stuff. I am so sorry. We were way behind. I apologize, people. We are okay. Got that. Got that. And Pops. See, here we go. Only one I see conning anyone is we're not going to talk about it. And thank you for the initials. And yeah, we both apologize for the community for our part in that. Yeah, I haven't. If that's the one I'm thinking of, I was a part of that too, and I haven't apologized yet. I'm just trying to slink away and hope no one notices, which I doubt anyone will, frankly. Rick Bradley, I've not taken part in either a virtual or live con, but I think the virtual foo would be amazing for networking since you can converse and meet with people all over the world. Rick, that is so true. In fact, what is really cool is, Rick, you know where I live. you know where I live in Indiana. I just met a new friend, and I'm thanking Christian because I think both people I met through my appearance on his shows last weekend, I should say. And one lives 2 hours from me. She is a brilliant artist and musician. I love her music. Check out the Randys here on Facebook and here on YouTube. They are, if you like 80s, 90s power pop, oh my God, they're awesome. They are fantastic. I love that group to death. And the other one is a gentleman I was talking to late last night from Fort Wayne, Indiana, who's only like 3 hours away from me, and we just hit it off immediately. So and I've made all kinds of connections. I've got some other virtual cons I'll probably be appearing at as well. And I said I'd cut down, right? Right, Meredith? Right, Rob? And some podcasts I'll be appearing on, and some new friends I've made. That's the bottom line, is friend making. So yeah. So Rick, get involved if you can, please. And Sarah needs her own show, says Rob Anderson. Oh, hells to the yeah. Oh my God, I'd watch that with each eye. She's funny. She is hilarious. She's intelligent. She's, without sounding sexist about it, she's easy on the eyes. And she's got a great air conditioner. But anyway, so Christian Basil, says Meredith Logren, are we doing Match Game with Katie and Tim next? Special edition of the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Make it so. I had a blast on Saturday morning. That was so much fun being on that panel for the Match Game. And it's funny, Christian, I was kind of laughing inside because Carl Witzman and Donna Carlene, I met them at a local event in Danville, Illinois, where we were doing the Match Game there too. So I'm kind of typecast. I'm digging I dig the match game. That was one of my favorite game shows back in the day. And so, Christian, you want me? I am so there. And the silky, sultry Sarah show, says Christian Basil. I would be there just for that name alone. I insist on being the costumer for it. Meredith Logren, I've done my best to call it a live streaming event because that's what it is. I think that's the best description because it was so versatile and it had so many moving parts that worked so well. And again, please congratulate Meredith and Christian and Rob for all their hard work for the indie event because it shows in every second of the event, and it was fun. It was freewheeling. It was just a great time. It really was. And Meredith, don't tempt them, says Christian Basil. I'm trying to get around the rights from the match game so we can continue to do it. Well, we could call it something else that's similar and you'll know what it is. And Christian Basil says, hashtag dino porn. Anyway, no, the hashtag should be hashtag buttbeard. Viva Buttbeard, I say. And Pops Van Zandt thumbs down. It was a fun event. Sounds like Nick to me. Oh, that's true. It could be Nick. Oh, I'm guilty by association. And for those of you who don't know who this Nick is, guess what? You never will. He is a pimple on the butt of crowdfunding and indie comics. I refuse to use his name on here. He is he has done some. It is somebody who is a comic creator who has done some very underhanded things and has been very rude to various people who have extended a helping hand to him, including myself to a small degree, though, to a very small degree. And he's getting a little pushback now, and he's being, not gracious and not accepting of it. So anyway, it Pops, I never thought of that, but you could be right. I appreciate that. And let's see. And Rob Anderson says, "Can you be my troll, BCam?" I would love to. I'd love to be your troll. Does that mean I have like glowing green eyes and a thatch of hair on top, and you rub my belly for good luck? Cool. Anyway, I just heard what you can do with them. I haven't had a death threat this year. What an odd year it is. Yeah, I know. Actually, my death threat was last year. I was trying to encourage somebody to write in a certain genre, and this person who knew this other person took exception to it, and and he said basically that he hoped I died, and he hoped he was there to help. So, and then he proceeded to say how. So, oh well. Anyway, I'm still rising. That's the best revenge. I'm still rising, and he's in the rearview mirror and can't be seen. And Sarah says, back had an important phone call. Sarah, love you. I do love you. I love them. I do. So know that. Embrace it. Take it to the bathtub with you. Anyway, Meredith Logren says, well, Christian, we just need to call it something snazzy like Sonic Squares. Ooh. My friend Trevor Hawkins, not to be confused with Eric, every time I tell him something that is a good idea, and he's usually right when he has this reaction, he goes, oh, I just got a tingle. And when we said Sonic Squares, I'm like, because it's Doctor Who and it's squares and stuff. I love that. And Christian Basil, you can't get him off this other program, though. Yes, the Silky, Sultry Sarah show. And Christian goes, Meredith, yes, I agree. And Carl is spamming us using real spam. Ooh, the tasty meat treat. And God knows Christian likes a tasty meat treat every now and then. Rob Anderson says, a spam thing is not blocking them, so there must be a triggering a spam, but another program allows them, so it must be an auto override. Yeah, it could be. Except for the stuff on YouTube. That's probably a conscious decision. And it doesn't surprise me whether he's doing it because I unfriended him or he's doing, and of course he's, not confronted me about it, of course. Or he's just, he sees that you're on here and is peeved, or he sees that I've tied my wagon to you. And not only that, I'm proud to do so. And his little panties are in a bunch. But anyway, Meredith Logren, I like spam and eggs. How about spam, and eggs? Or if that's too much spam, maybe just spam, and eggs. Anyway, you're not, Wonderful spam. No, I can't use that. That's copyrighted music. Anyway, oh, there we go. The Vikings are chiming in now. Wonderful, wonderful spam. And Rob Anderson has got the link to the Spam Corporation. Now, I wonder if that's. Now, Rob, let us know if that is considered spam by Facebook. Is spamming spam a spam attempt? And hey, Brian, says Philip Thompson. Hey, Philip, you picked the wrong time to show up. We're getting silly. What do you think of my ideas for an art-based superhero? Yeah, you finally. We were talking about that the other day, Philip and I, about keywords to use in his Amazon presentation, which is very important. Work on your keywords, people. And he didn't tell me it was for a different character. So I was confused, and I was like, no, you don't want to use these. And they told me what it's about. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You are, Philip. So yeah, I agree with you. And Rob Anderson, I have the biggest boobs that BKM. You got the biggest guns. You got the biggest guns. Well, then again, sometimes I'll be out with Cookie and my friend Mark Leonard, who we've been great friends since sixth grade, and Cookie will make a mention of boobs and say, "You want to see my boobs?" And then she'll point to me and Mark. So anyway, proof, Rob, for posterity. There we go. And Rob Anderson continues, the privacy on the devices itself, it seems to cause Apple more issues. Yeah, I remember you were having issues with your phone yesterday. Did you ever get that cleared up? There is a video out there that made BKM BP get dangerous. Ooh, I like being dangerous. I am. Pull my trigger. Watch me go off. Luke Stone, if somebody comes by my comments just to post an argument, I block. Yeah. And I've started doing that. I have started doing that. So, and if it's the price of fame or infamy or because I'm hanging out with the right people at last, seriously, especially if I've never interacted with them, says Luke Stone. I agree. Yeah. And I was right on there. And so all of a sudden it was, if you watch Doctor Who, and I know Rob knows this moment because we talked about it recently, where the Doctor is about to, he's got the Pandorica, and he's telling everyone, well, who wants to take it from me? And no takers. And he's like, well, and Christian, of course, is like, oh, he's saying it wrong. No, we're trying to get through it faster. But the Doctor tells him, just remember every black day I ever gave you. And then, if you want to come get the Pandorica, because I don't have any weapons, I don't have any ship, I don't have a plan, I don't have any weapons worth a damn. So if you want to come and get it from me, do the smart thing. Let somebody else try first. That's something they all go flying. I think of that, and that's what happened when I posted that remark and I pushed back. Suddenly, a number of them deleted their comments. So screw them. Anyway, and I say that right now with full confidence. Anyway, Luke Stone, I love a spirited debate. I usually disagree with everyone. Hashtag grumpy libertarian. Hashtag you won't be the only one. Okay, I've been libertarian since John Anderson in '80. So yeah, Rob and I get into some spirited discussions, but Rob doesn't fight unfairly. And I have to restrain myself from doing so, but because I'm good at it. But no, Rob and I have some good discussions, and I think at the end, Rob and I have an understanding that has helped each of us. I like to think that it has certainly helped me. Rob is like, you haven't done a damn thing for me, Brian. Anyway, it's rare to be able to debate with somebody and still be friends. That's because we're masters at it, Rick. We're all master debaters here. Anyway, Pops Van Zandt says there's a post topic in my group has the segments from all my past shows. I also send each guest a copy of their segment to put on their own pages. Well, that's awesome. I have a group of volunteers who work sometimes all month to make sure we serve the guests and fans the best of our ability. That's fantastic. Pops, that is super. That's a great service. I appreciate that, man. I salute you. And Eric Hawkins says, Brian, don't you know people aren't allowed to have their own opinions now? I know, I keep forgetting, right? Everyone is wrong if they don't agree with you. If they think differently, religiously, politically, or any other way, they are wrong. Opinions are no longer like a-holes. Instead, everyone is an a-hole. Opinions are forbidden in the New World Order. That's true. That's true. And was the night that Donald Trump was elected, British comedian Jonathan Pye did a wonderful YouTube video and he doesn't describe himself as liberal. He's a socialist, 100%. And he did a brilliant, even-handed thing, and he touches on the narrative and how it's been seized because of things they perceive as happening. and yet they are behaving the very same way, if not worse. So yeah, it's Jonathan Pye for the election night in November of 2016 is worth seeking out, and it's very thought provoking. But yeah, so yeah, Eric. So I'm, I don't have room in my tiny little head for my opinion, so I'll just use yours. Okay, I think that's safe. And now I'm triple dipping on pages, says Sarah. Sarah, don't hurt yourself, honey. We don't want OSHA here. And all thanks, Robin. Hey there, Sarah. Sarah. Hey there, Carl. And Indie Vent rules, says Carl Witzman. Indeed, and so does Buttbeard. And Donna Carlene says, big kudos to Meredith, Christian, and Rob for an awesome Indie Vent. You did a great job. Indeed, you three did. And Sarah says, yes, Carl, can't wait for the next. Agreed. And Rick Bradley, I would love to be a part of a virtual foo. Maybe next time if you all want me. Rick, you've made the mistake. You are now in it. Dude, you should have run when you had the chance. Now you are ours. I can hear the Eagles music and the guitar solos starting now. And Nick Tucker says, just to clarify, whoever the D-bag Nick is, that is a totally different from everyone's favorite Manatee Man. Yes, I apologize, Nick. It is not this Nick. It is another Nick who happens to be a dick. Anyway, Nick Tockert is far from this person. It's like the old Polaroids, Nick. You see, if we took a Polaroid picture, the kind where you had to peel the backing off and you had like the negative there, sort of, and if we took a picture of you, Nick, and we pulled off that backing, this Nick would be on the backing. He is the polar opposite of you, who I respect in every way, and you have been a wonderful friend, and you always will be. And I'm still rising. Drank. Yeah. That's worthy not only a drink, but a toast. We're all going to rise if I have my way. And nothing like getting a package of tasty meat treat. Yeah, and whether you have it hot, the hotter you get it, the better it is. And says, don't read this comment. It's just spam. Anyway, so that's happening a lot this morning, apparently, Carl. And yes, spam.com does count as spam. Oh, you guys are nuts. Anyway, and I should know. All the useful comments ended about 30 minutes ago, just waiting for Brian to catch up. And SpamCon asked Christian Basil, well, it could be. And, Basil would be good with spam. I'm just saying. And we did catch up. Ha 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 ha. Oh, we had this under control the whole time. There was nothing to worry about.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
You think they're onto us? Anyway, so anyway, we got caught up. And this is I was looking at the clock and I'm thinking, oh my god, this is turning into an episode of Clever Title Pending. By the way, please, folks, please check out Clever Title Pending last night. Carl Witzman and Donna Carlene were on, and it was a fantastic show. They were terrific, so please check it out. And of course, I can control where the TARDIS goes as Carl Witzman. Yes, yeah, just like I can. But anyway, yeah, last night was a fantastic show, and thank you again, Carl and Donna, for being there. And next week's show is going to be pretty good too. And I'm going to make sure I get it right. We're going to have inspirational author Kathy Jackson back, and she's going to talk about her inspirational romance books, as well as being a lady of faith who's putting a little spice in her. Plus, she is a successful self-publisher, and she would love to answer your questions. Plus, we're going to have her husband, Matthew Madkelt Jackson, on, and he's a book designer, interior designer of books, not like he does drapes or anything. And they work as a team. Plus, he freelances his services. In fact, he's going to be doing the cover for Aquatic for me. And they're a terrific couple. I love them. And they were a guest a long time ago on Nevermind the Furthermore, well over a year ago. And yet they still speak to me. That speaks well of them. So anyway, they will be the guests on Clever Title Pending this coming Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central. Or excuse me, no, 8 p.m. We're going earlier. We don't want to butt up against Indie. Both they'll crush us like a grape. No, it will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. Brian doesn't know where he is. Brian needs more coffee. And then the week after that, we're in talks with somebody. We may have someone that defines special as in special guest. So anyway, Nick Tockard, if you want to see a good Nick, check out deviantart.com. Nick T, woo, last minute plug. The power strip still has room for you. Everyone take care and be creative. Rick, be creative yourself. And don't forget, Rick has a brand new book out. Please check it out on Amazon and please pre-order that ebook so that Rick will rise. All right. And it was a rare sober appearance. Yes, probably by all three of us after Indie Event last week. No, you and Donna were fairly sober. I of course had cracked open the Kraken, and Jonathan Pye. I saw that video, says Christian Basil. That's not wrong with just a political view. That's what's wrong with society. Amen. That's why Jonathan Pye has become my go-to comic. Seriously, him and John Oliver. And I'm really warming up to Trevor Noah these days. Thank you for your kind words and for allowing us to invade your space. Donna, the door is always open for you. It seriously is. And Meredith Walgren says, last night, Tim Traylor was booted out of Christian's show for some positivity speaker who calls himself Peter and looks strangely like Tim. Well, Tim doesn't look all that strange to me. Strange British humor. Oh, my God. That sounds insidious. I must go check it out. Hey, I'm scared. Everyone come with me and check it out with me. And be sure to give that page a like and smash that thumbs up button too, because I understand it repels evil. And this other Peter sounds evil, and we must combat him. So there. And Ted Davies says, thanks for all you do, Brian. Have a great day. Ted, you're in this too, man. Thank you. And thank you for being part of Indie Event, man. You were awesome. You had a great panel. You really did. I was so proud of you. And all your sound issues were gone. Dude, that was classic. That's what this show aspires to. So anyway, Ted, thank you, brother. You have a great day. And Rick Bradley, real quick before I leave, go pre-order Marvin's Night out on Amazon. Very good. He took up my subliminal hint to put in that link. Thank you, Rick Bradley, and good luck on that book. And man, we'll do what we can to help that thing succeed. So anyway, folks, I think we're going to call it a day because Brian needs more coffee and you don't want me going nutty as a result. But anyway, there's that link there to Marvin's Night Out. So anyway, we've talked about a number of subjects this morning, and I've got some things I'm going to be looking up. And these are challenging times, my friends, whether it's with each other or with the situation going on. But we can't do much about the situation, but we can find alternatives. Yeah, like if you're not selling enough of whatever, there's other avenues to do it. We just got to get a little more clever about it. And we've got new words like virtual foo. And I look forward to the next virtual foo I will be involved with. And if I have people like Rob and Christian and Meredith with me, then I'm there up to my knees probably, and happily so. So anyway, hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. Enjoy your hump day. And any day that has humping in it, you probably should be enjoying it. Otherwise, you're probably doing it incorrectly. And going nutty? Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Let's just say me going nutty, we ain't burning much gas to get there. Thank you, Donna. Anyway, we got mischief to plan. We've got a comic script to write for Empire Comics Lab. And great show, great time. See y'all there. Donna, Carlene, thank you so much. And don't forget, Donna, Carlene, and Carl Witzman both have books on lulu.com. Please check them out, and you will be incredibly entertained. And check out Clever Title Pending from last night, because they were amazing. You'll learn more about them, and you will love them like I do. So anyway, folks, hope you have a great time today. We are planning on it, and we will most definitely see you Friday morning for another Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. Eastern and 9 a.m. Central. And as always, and I appreciate everyone that tried to do this weekend. I think I'm the only one that did it right. And I better if anyone does. So anyway, folks, in closing, thank you all for being here. Thank you for spending this time with me. And please check out my Facebook, or not my Facebook, but my YouTube page, and please give that a subscription and give that a like when you see this button. Please punch that like button, because it is, if you don't like me, it's like slapping. So hit me hard. Anyway, folks, thank you all. And all seriousness aside, don't forget to stay smart, stay safe, wash your damn hands, and never apologize for being awesome, because God bless it, you are. You are amazing. Thank you all for being here, and I appreciate you. And we will see you next time. We'll see you Friday on the extravaganza that is Nevermind the Furthermore. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in to Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Publications and Brian K. Morris production. Member of the Comic Book Advocating Network and sponsored by GeekInsider.com. Become part of our show with sponsorship and advertising opportunities. For details, contact advertising at GeekInsider.com or visit podcast.geekinsider.com. The Geek Insider podcast is available on your favorite app, so please hit the follow button and share it out to your friends. Because if you don't, you might have to turn in your Geek card.